So there's this woman in Vaughan, right? So this is in Ontario, and she's 30 years old. She's engaged, and this is a sad story, right? Let me just set the premise right there. She got colon cancer, right? And she's
Okay.
already taken 17 rounds of chemo. Not easy. 17 rounds of chemo. And finally, her surgery date comes up. She's 30 years old. Like I said, colon cancer. This is something they can remove if you catch it early. You know how it goes. So her surgery comes up and they say, whoa, before you get into surgery, we need to make sure your body is strong enough. Stop chemo for 2 weeks. Build up that strength so you can handle the surgery. So she does this. When the surgery date rolls around now, she gets an email. Your surgery's been postponed due to the rise in COVID cases. We got to keep them beds for them COVID patients. We're going to let you know you should be good in another 2 weeks. So now she's going 4 weeks, no chemo. And again, I am not a specialist. I don't know, but from what I
Right.
gathered from the article, the whole point of chemo is to prevent the cancer from spreading. So they're telling her to not do chemo so she has the strength for her surgery. But in turn, she's risking the cancer spreading. So now the second surgery date's coming up. Now it's 4 weeks, no chemo. Gets an email. Your surgery has been postponed indefinitely due to the rising COVID cases. And she's afraid to go back on the chemo because if a date opens up, she needs to make sure she's ready for it. But
Right.
again, the dice she is rolling is the cancer could spread. She's 30 years old. I mean, this is crazy to me. You can't get the woman in, for however long, do the surgery, and you can't do this. And obviously, there's more people like her, probably even in worse situations. But I mean, this is somebody's life we're talking about.
I mean, for me, it's a simple. This. Oh wow, this is a crazy story. This is a crazy story. But for me, um, I'm asking these people when I meet up with them who made this decision. I'm saying to you, why do you need these ICU beds for COVID patients? Like, why are they required in priority for people with COVID over the other things? I'm assuming what they're gonna say is because COVID is highly contagious and it's highly deadly. Like these people could die. That's why they're in these ICU beds. They're extreme cases of COVID, right? Or else you just be at home quarantining. So I'm assuming that's going to be the answer for them. Then I'm going to ask them, okay, stage 4 cancer. If I come to you with stage 4 cancer, what is your diagnosis for the length of time that you feel that I could live with no chemotherapy? I want to hear what their answer is. I don't know what it is. I would love to hear what their answer is. Because if there is a case where stage 4 cancer patients are just as likely to pass away from their symptoms as somebody with COVID, I don't see how we're replacing one for the other. ICU beds are required for people who need intensive care. That's why it's called the intensive care unit. And whether you have COVID, whether you have influenza, I don't care if you have Ebola, I don't care if you have herpes, I don't give a fuck what you have. If it's at a point where you're about to die, like you could die from it, from lack of treatment from it, you need to have a bed.
This is
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
get I
Yeah.
don't get how they're gonna replace one for the other.
I,
That doesn't make it,
yeah,
especially when there's a vaccine. There's
yeah,
a vaccine
I don't,
for COVID.
yeah, I don't think they should be, giving priority to, and like God forbid anyone that I know and love myself ever ends up or needs to go to the hospital even for COVID. I don't want that to happen, but I really don't think you should prioritize that. I think it should be like anything else. It really should be based on, when it comes to the hospital, anyways, based on the severity of the situation. And if there is a hospital with 50 ICU beds, and that day you happen to have 51 people being admitted to the hospital that need an ICU bed, it's going to be priority. So how serious is it? I guess it must be serious if they need it. And
Right.
then after that, it's first come, first serve. So you might have COVID here, you might have cancer recovery, whatever the actual need is for the bed. But I think it should rock like that. Again, I don't know, not a doctor. I don't know
But yo,
that I don't know if that's problematic. I don't know.
Take this in. Take this in though. Take this in though. With this patient that you're talking about, the 30-year-old woman, they know that she has this. It's prior. She's had multiple appointments. You know what I
Cassandra
mean?
Cassandra D. Maria. I want to make sure her name is known.
Okay.
Cassandra D. Maria. Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
She's had multiple appointments, right? These people walking in right now to these ICU beds are brand new. Brand new people. They probably have never been to that hospital before. It's their first time. They're really scared, blah, 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 blah. So we have brand new people being able to come in and get beds over people who have been previously diagnosed with deadly diseases. That's crazy to me. That's crazy that you could have somebody I've been a member here for 10 years, and you're telling me that somebody can come in and pay less for their membership, or they can get a better table than me, and they just got here? No, we're not doing that. I don't like this club no more.
Well, I mean, this is the club that we have in Ontario. So I don't know. Like, the story is sad. It's frustrating. It's enraging. Um, all types of emotions I get from this story. What all I do know, and a life is a life, whether you're 30, 65, 80, or even 10. A life is a life, right? But I'll say this: the woman is 30 years old. By all accounts, she's got a lot of life left to live.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is that there is a procedure that can extend her life. Just give her the procedure. It's like if I got two glasses. I don't even want to give an example because it's so simple and so straightforward. If you can understand it, then we got another problem. Just give her the procedure.
I need to understand how this isn't a lawsuit, how this isn't a case. I need to understand how this is justified, because obviously for them to be blatant about them just sending the email, like, knowing what she's going through right now, there has to be, they must know that they're back somehow. They must know that they're back somehow, because this is crazy. You don't just push away people like that just for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and I get that they need the ICU
reason.
beds. No. Listen, I get that they need the ICU beds, but somebody coming in, a 78-year-old who needs an ICU bed, who just walked in, versus a 30-year-old who is stage 4 cancer. I'm sorry. Like you said, you gotta make priorities. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm a hospital, my priority is the previous patient who has been here before with the stage 4 cancer. I want to make sure she leaves this hospital alive. That seems like a better look. But you know what? I also know that hospitals get paid more for COVID patients than they do for other patients. I know that as well. So there's that.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts, man? This is a local story. Google, YouTube, there's a lot more to it. And I feel for this woman, and I also feel for anyone else who is in this situation. Again, a life is a life, whether it's being inflicted by cancer, by AIDS, COVID. A life is a life. We want everyone to live forever. But this system, and she said this, by the way, Cassandra said this, she understands, but she's like, this system needs to be fixed. There's a lot wrong here. And I couldn't agree more. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So, okay.